That's, let me remind myself.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Road to Influencer podcast. We're joined here with Laurie Bowman, who's a video producer, Becca Hudson, who is a photographer, and Julian Young from Jellyhound, who's a digital marketer. With Bonnie, who is the Jellyhound dog.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Expert in Instagram.
Oh yeah, with Sheepoo. What's it? Sheepoo Official.
Sheepoo Life Coach.
So, Laurie, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, so I've appeared in one of your other videos for this course, which I really enjoyed. And I kind of came to talk to you about kind of the video side, like how it can lend to social media influencing. But it was from talking to you, I was really sort of interested in, it got me thinking about, how it exists and how it's a job and how people can make money from it. So I'm really fascinated to kind of hear everyone's viewpoints and where it is.
Because that's what this podcast is about. It's about running a successful social influencer business at the end of the day.
And making people aware of how it could help your situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You want to introduce yourself a little bit, Becca?
Yeah, hi, I'm Becca and I do photography, mostly a little bit of design as well. We chatted before, but I haven't done any other work with you other than some quick photo shoots. Hopefully we'll do some more.
Yeah,
some
and
more
I'll like
set up rather than just a quick 5 minutes. Here's some pretty light. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how people use photos on their social medias and to be social influencers and use imagery, all kinds.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to start with like a quick bit of like who are your favorite social media influencers, or do you have a couple of favorite social media influencers that you can think of?
I want to hear who you think is a social influencer.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, who I think is an influencer.
Yeah.
Because you're the first one on the road, so like, was there someone that inspired you, or
someone that inspired me? Well, I think like I watch a lot of content. I think probably the main guy that probably inspired me was like Casey Neistat.
Okay.
Because he talks a lot about trying to get people to create content and giving people the opportunity to create content.
He really drew my eye to YouTube in the first place as well. He actually made me start watching more YouTube and taking notice of more creative people on with their own channel.
Yeah, because he introduces like and features a lot of people who do creative work as well.
Yeah.
And really pushes to get creative people started. So that's kind of what this is for as well. So if someone's creative and doesn't have the means or doesn't know how to create some sort of following on Instagram, then this course is for someone like that wants to try and gain a following and try and show people their work and make people know what they do, basically.
And for you, is it all about the sort of, or what draws it to you? Is it at all the business aspect, or is it more just influencing people? Is it more just getting your message out there?
Well, I like the business aspect as well, but I like the whole idea of just giving people the ability to create content if they want to create content. So if someone's like a really great artist, but they don't know anything about social media, maybe we could help that person share their content on social media and become even more popular as an artist. So stuff like that, I think, is really cool.
There's all sorts of
there's
ways of using social influence. But yeah, I don't know what I was going to say there.
No.
Hold on a sec. It made me think of too many things at once.
Yeah.
No, totally gone.
Okay.
No, that's good.
So do you guys have like a favorite social media influencer then? Is there someone that is there a prominent figure that you draw from in maybe video producing, like a figure you aspire to or something like that?
I mean, it's different for video because there's little series. It's more, I don't know if you would call it social influencing, but I like with YouTube the platform aspect of it. Brings together stuff that just wouldn't work on television. Has anyone seen the "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" series?
Right.
I have not.
It's about little puppets, but it's huge.
Yeah.
But it's just creepy little puppets, but it just kind of works. It's really good. Go check it out. But it's kind of, I think, so they're not so much influencing, but I like, as you're saying, it's sort of a platform for art.
Yeah.
To follow and to influence others. But I mean, as for who I follow, it changes every week, really. Yeah. How about yourself, Becca?
I think I'm a bit the same as you. But a lot of what I use social media for is to get more inspiration. So I follow a lot of dancers, and a lot of other photographers. And
this is Instagram, right?
Yeah, mostly on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook. But Instagram used to be slightly more flexible. They've started cracking down on copyright, which makes it a bit difficult for things like dancers and theatre people with music in the background. A lot of their stuff gets taken off. But yeah, I follow a lot of stuff like that. So it's not really one person, but it's more like genres of things.
So when you're recording stuff like that, then do you now select no sound when you post it? Because you've got that option, haven't you?
Some people select no sound. Some people speed up the video. But if it's a dance, you have to then tell people, because obviously you're not moving at that speed naturally. Or if it's like an athlete or someone, like they're doing a flip. No, they did not flip that fast. So that's not real. That's not how it works.
It sounds even more engaging.
It can be quite creative, but mostly I just like using Instagram for visual things. It's a very good visual platform and inspiration.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But as I was saying earlier, it isn't just used as a visual platform. With the post-it note lady.
Yeah.
Posting post-it notes. So what she has to do is write something, take a photo of it.
What did this stuff say? What does it say on the post-it note? Is it like quotes or?
I think she's a UX designer or graphic designer, so it was quotes about like design and stuff like that. So it's kind of like reminders. So it was niched and post-it notes. So it's quite clever. But she's got a huge following.
Like a helping handy thing that you could...
It'll be right here. Ding!
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, me, let's see. Donald Trump. That's probably the only person I regularly check on social media.
Really?
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Well, because he claims it's the purest. That's the only way you get the real message, because the lying media twists everything he says.
Yeah, and
fake news and everything as well.
It's a huge platform for him. It's he can go direct to his audience. So he's one of the world's most powerful and largest social influencers. Isn't that crazy?
Do you look at his own posts, or do you ever look at the comments? Because I had a look at the comments a couple of weeks ago, and they were just crazy. Crazy comments.
But I don't think they're moderated, right? They rip them to shreds, and they like praise him, and it's just basically arguing.
Yeah.
Constant arguing on both sides. Not really anything in the middle.
So would you say he's a positive social influencer? I mean, he's got the most influential position in the world, but he still thinks there's something in Twitter, I guess, which is, I guess, attests to the power of Twitter.
I'm just surprised he hasn't been banned yet. Because Twitter banned Alex Jones.
Yep.
So now they're getting into the political side. In fact, all the social media platforms banned Alex Jones, right? They
all pretty much all of the major ones banned him within 8 hours, 12 hours of each other.
But is he banned from Twitch? He's going to just have to start playing games.
No, you have to get on League.
Broadcast while playing Counter-Strike, isn't
it? It's weird. So why do you guys think, because influencer people like PewDiePie and any others, they have a big sort of hold over their audience. Like, people will watch every day, and they'll just listen to these people, and they'll take recommendations from these people. Why do you guys think it works through this medium of a computer? Like, is it
or a phone,
or mainly a phone, but anything?
Because
there's always been sort of radio shows, but as far as I know, no one was avid.
It's convenient. You don't have to sit down in front of your TV and
it's
watch the
constantly
adverts, and then it's now like whenever you want it. And especially if they're vlogging or making YouTube shows like on a daily basis, and it's just so.
It's more of a connection with like one person as well. So PewDiePie, you feel more connected to PewDiePie because he's just recording himself talking to you, and it's just him in his room. It's not like on a TV set or in a newsroom or something like that. It's just all about him.
I find it a bit boring. I think he's really scraping the barrel. No offense, Felix. But
Yeah.
I think he's like, what the hell? He's so big. He's done so many shows. What the hell do you do now? So now it's like, I'm going to play this game with Marcia, and it's just some random.
Hard to find some creative originality.
It must be really hard.
Yeah,
I feel for the guy.
You've been doing it for a long time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how long's he been doing this for?
Since it started, wasn't it? Like 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, a long time.
And he started some other ideas up as well. He had, I think he started a Twitch stream or something, a Twitch show.
Did he?
I don't think he's still doing that. But yeah, so I think when you're in it that long, you've got to try and find some other sort of creative way out.
I think you really do have to, constantly reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you're, because I mean, with YouTube and stuff, after ad revenues being kind of slashed, you see a lot of people very quickly move to the sort of Patreon model of putting their content behind paywalls and getting subscriptions. And from my perspective, I don't know how these people's businesses operate, but it kind of looks like they kind of shut the drawbridge.
Yeah.
And they've kind of just think, we've got our people, we can make our money off this, and let's stop moving on and get more. Which I guess you're sort of taking away the influence, really. Cause
it's tricky now. Yeah, it's much trickier.
It really is.
Yeah. That's interesting because I was saying today, Shane Dawson, who's now at the time of this podcast the second biggest YouTuber.
He's one of the big. Yeah, I don't know if he's second, but he's pretty high.
But
yeah.
he's growing massively. He's now doing documentaries.
Okay,
So
interesting.
he's a vlogger that's gone, oh, hold on a sec. I think he started doing
Did a Jake Paul one.
he's just done a Jake Paul,
Yeah.
like, in Jake's Paul head, but it's not out yet, I think. It's out
Yeah,
next
there was.
week.
I've seen a video that was like a
Yeah.
preview of it or something.
It's
like
all
that.
hype things.
Yeah.
So much hype. But he did one on a YouTube convention. I can't remember what it's called. Something con. And there was a YouTuber who went out and did a convention, and he followed her
Was it
about.
Tarakon? Or?
That's the one. Yeah. So he got so many hits with that. So he must have made a good bit of money, and he's gone, hey, this is a great idea. And then, who's the guy you watch? The beard.
Beard guy?
Drama Alert.
Killer Keemstar. Yeah.
Oh, Keemstar.
So he did a documentary on Fuzi,
Okay.
who is I think he's got 10 million followers on YouTube.
Was that the guy that tried to get Drake?
Yeah.
He's
Kind of, I think maybe he's got some mental issues. He's manic depressive, I think. I don't know, bipolar, something.
Right.
And he's admitted to that, and he's just deleted every single video.
Yeah, he's completely wiped
because
his
he,
YouTube
he
channel.
said he would if he didn't raise a certain amount of money in, like, I don't know, a week or something. So he cleared his channel and he's leaving the country. I watched a video this morning saying he was a bit. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Man
Keemstar's done a
of his word,
documentary
yeah.
on him.
Yeah, okay. You got to
So,
respect the man of their word. Though.
I love it. I'd much rather watch a documentary like that than watch, Felix PewDiePie doing his blog every day.
Do you think that's part of the influencer's draw, is that you feel that you're getting inside these people's head? Because I find myself watching podcasts, like, being like, if there's a couple of people, you'd be like, he always says that, and you sort of feel like you know these people and stuff.
That's not why I watch it.
No?
I think that can be a reason though, because celebrities, they're always on screen and they're acting, and you don't get to see the person how they are actually.
Yeah.
But for YouTube, you see the person as they are, and you feel like you know the person.
Mm.
See, I think that's why I like a lot of the people. Like, it's a couple of dancers that brings to mind where I listen. Like, if something pops up, I'll go to their thing to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I've listened to a lot of their stuff and I know what they're like. I know how they sound. I know what. It's usually just their personality that I go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can.
And you want to know their
relate
opinion
to
on
that.
stuff
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see the content. I want to see a story. I want to see something interesting. I follow the drama. That's why I like Keemstar. When you told me about Keemstar, I was like, okay. No, I haven't watched him for months.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Because it's just like so much drama. It's constant. And it stresses me out, to be honest. I feel a bit sad about the state of... It's all Hollywood. Most of his news is like YouTube and what's going on in Hollywood. It's just like...
Maybe you should challenge him to a boxing match.
Yeah.
That was strange. Like I was like, because I like boxing, so I'm like. So,
did you watch the fight?
I thought, well, that's it, because I thought I watched the Jake Paul fight, and I realized it was the other one.
Oh yeah, between Comedy
Logan
Sharks
Paul
Gamer
versus
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
'cause
watched.
there's two fights.
I thought I watched the other one, but
It was pretty brutal. I thought they really went for it.
Did you watch the whole fight?
I watched the highlights
Right.
just the other day, and I was like, wow, okay, they really go for it.
Yeah.
Like, they're really trying to knock each other out. Like, it looked more like a brawl, though.
Yeah. At one
So
point, he's got him
swinging.
over the ropes, and he's swinging. Like, how can his spine take that? Like, but that kind of smacks of desperation, and you kind of wonder why this. Well, in my mind,
I think it's
combat's great.
This is the new creativity. They've got to get away from day to day and start moving towards some sort of unique content.
Yeah.
So it's event based. They're becoming big businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
people
they're
are
evolving.
realizing how popular they are as well.
How to utilize, because you've got this massive separation between people that have built their own businesses as social influencers and huge television studios that have, they create a concept, they go and pilot it, and then they film it, and so on. And so there's the grey area is, the lines are blurring.
Right.
It's starting to merge.
Well, yeah, as well in what some people would refer to as the intellectual dark web. So people kind of talking about just different issues, just social issues, governments, bit of politics. You got big players like Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson who are touring countries and selling out 20,000 seat arenas and stuff just to hear people talk. So they're effectively lectures, so they've got it. But yeah, I do, because we live in the Kingdom of Fife, closest to Edinburgh, which is famous because we have the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which is the largest arts festival in the world. I honestly think in the future we'll start having YouTubers coming to the Fringe Festival to sort of do talks and live shows. I don't see why not. Don't know what the Arts and Cultural Society would have to say about that, but brings in the money anyway.
Yeah, bring in a lot of people.
So, because we've all sort of brought up different examples of people. So for you, sure, because you're embarking on this journey, how would you sort of define an influencer? Like you've probably done this in another video, but I'd like to kind of throw out there.
Define an influencer.
It's got a definition, just so you know.
Okay.
I don't have a proper definition. It's just someone who has a lot of they would have a lot of followers, but they mainly have a lot of engagement on their content. So they're creating content that people are engaged with and are actually listening to their opinions and thoughts and then acting on those opinions and thoughts.
Okay.
That would be an influencer.
So it's the ability to change someone's opinion, I think that's what's in the course.
Yeah. The ability to affect or change the way that someone behaves or thinks.
Yeah. So the more followers you get, the more able you are to do that.
Yeah, well, you could have a lot of followers, but you need to have a lot of engagement. So it's all about the engagement. You could have 1,000 followers and have 900 people engaged in your content, or you could have 10,000 and only have 50 people engaged in your content. So it's all about people being actively engaged in it and discussing what you're talking about. Do you have any other topics?
I think we're going to talk about Article 13 because it's topical. And was it the 12th? What's the day today? The 13th? 14th?
14th.
2 days ago.
So 2 days ago, yeah. So Article 13 passed. Now, it's not called Article 13, is it?
It's Article 13 of a different... Article 13 is the...
It's the EU Copyright Directive?
Correct. Article 13 is an amendment to change it.
Right, okay. And there was Article 11 as well. Has that passed?
Couldn't tell you. Don't know.
Article 11 scares me as a web guy. Article 11 is about links on websites.
Oh, right.
So let's say you've got a podcast called The Road to Influencer, episode 1, right? And someone's hyperlinked it, but you've copyrighted it.
Right.
I think the idea is they can protect your copyright by stopping people using those words in a link.
Right.
So if someone's if someone's done it, you can basically say, "Whoa there! Nope, don't want that link there," and Google would have to take it down. So it protects your copyright if it's not linking to somewhere that it's talking about something you've created, but it's not something you want.
Right.
Because it might be someone that's pirated it.
Right. Okay.
So, but it's scary because the impact on links across the web, across the internet, is huge. And then Article 13 is specific to fair use.
Yeah.
Which is copyright and stuff like that.
Which is copyright, yeah. So fair use is your way around copyright if you're using it fairly. So if you're criticizing it or satiring it or just analyzing it, basically. Because otherwise, I would copyright the word "the," and anyone who uses it would owe me money.
Yeah.
So Article 13 is being dubbed the meme killer.
Yeah.
And basically, memes are always use copyrighted material, right?
Yeah.
So, as soon as you upload something, this is the proposition, or actually it's now passed, so this is the law.
New law.
yeah, well.
That if you own a social media, I don't know how it works, I could be wrong, but basically they have to introduce some sort of upload filter. So you upload your meme, you upload your video, you upload your snippet, whatever it is, your photo, and there's some sort of scan and there currently is anyway. I think there's there's a lot of scanning going on, but they're scanned for copyright. So more AI is going to come into use, and it needs to detect whether something's copyrighted or not. So the worry is now they're saying, well, this has to happen, that it's just going to have this huge impact across the internet, because just the basic, everything's going to get flagged as copyright, basically.
And I mean, not only that, I mean, we're talking about, you know, Alex Jones, for example, being banned. Now, I'm not saying he's the beacon of truth by any means, but the companies like this have shown their political bias already, so they can ban whatever they want, and they can stop whatever happening, which is bad for people with influence. And I think it's the death throes of an old influence media, because they realize that people don't watch their stuff anymore. Like people, like all of us here, like I don't have a TV show I watch anymore. It's people that say something. So that's where the money's going. So I think it's, well, I mean, who knows how corrupt the government are, but I think there's some sort of leaning going on there. Like
you
personally, I don't. Yeah.
If we're about to leave the EU, then should we worry about it?
Potentially not, but we might have to start worrying about food. Yes,
because the tech companies, they have to act within the laws of each country. So presumably then we would be like suddenly excluded, and we'd be back to UK copyright law, which would, unless we inherit, which we probably will.
We probably will,
EU laws.
Right.
So in order to maintain some sort of framework that everyone agrees on, which is the whole point. So
we would as well. I mean, this is it's not the Brexit podcast, but it's laid out that we will be taking a lot of EU laws as well. So that's considering how much our government likes censorship, I can see that one coming along.
For everyone that's not in the UK listening to this,
send help, please. No, it's not that bad.
Brexit is, just in case you've been living on the moon, Brexit is the separation of the UK from the EU, Britain's exit from the European Union. So and something that may or may not happen still. We don't know.
It's not over till the fat lady sings. Like. But maybe we'll get a flux of European YouTubers coming to live here, like, try to claim asylum so they can keep posting memes.
Sweden's supposed to have really good copyright laws, right?
I think so.
I think it housed the Pirate Party.
It did, yeah, you're correct. Yeah, it did.
And the Pirate Bay used to be hosted there until they got raided and.
They're looking for an island now, I believe.
Oh, right.
To live on an island.
Wow. They're still going?
Yeah.
Not the original owner.
Well, I mean, obviously, I pay for all my software, so I wouldn't know what you're talking about. Yeah. But I've heard from dark corners.
It's a useful place to download utilities that are openly available.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. Right, where were we anyway? What were we talking about? How did we get onto this?
So we're talking
Article
about
13.
Yeah.
Article 13.
Yeah.
So that sucks. So if you're in the UK, write to your local MEP. And,
well, it's too late now.
No, it's not. You can still do it. Yep. I was watching Philip DeFranco literally 10 minutes ago, and he says it's still not too late. So reach out. Reach out to local government as well.
If you love memes, this is your last chance.
I think most of the time these things do end up balancing. I have some sort of faith in the law to be generally common sense, so we'll see. But I don't have any faith in politicians understanding technical stuff. So that doesn't usually end well. But at the moment, there's no big issues, is there? Other than that, we're pretty good. We're good to go.
Which big
in
issues?
terms of technical, laws in place.
They would affect us.
Don't believe so. No. And
then we've had plenty of scares. Lots and lots of scares in that respect, so especially with copyright. So, could be wrong.
It's a minefield, because I mean, essentially nobody wants to be sued for copyright. But then, I mean, if it were enacted right now, like, you'd have to take a lot of stuff off YouTube already, like, which is pretty difficult. So who knows what will happen?
Yeah. Do you think they can monitor all of that? Because there's so much stuff out there.
Well, AI.
Yeah, AI.
But
the other problem is, though, that only to afford AI and to be able to implement it, you'd have to already be a big company.
That's true, yeah.
So this is why I'm saying I think it's older media who have the money trying to sort of get the little guy out of the way, like, because now only they can compete, really.
So then we have to go into the dark web, people.
Yep.
That's the only way forward, really. It's if that happens, then everyone will migrate. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
same as like so when they introduced the 3-strike rule here in the UK, whereas if you downloaded something dodgy through a torrent and you were tracked doing it once and you get a slap on the wrist, second and you get your second warning, and third time you can't use the internet anymore. Although I don't think that worked out very well.
From that provider.
Yeah.
Because the provider will be sued. This is another thing about Article 13. At the moment, the provider will be sued. The platform holder will be sued. But Article 13 changes it so you directly can be sued.
So what happened is everyone started using proxies and VPNs. And now VPNs are just common. Whereas before, everyone would scratch their head and go, VP what?
Yep.
Now, like, you got a VPN?
I do have a VPN.
I've got a VPN. Have you got a VPN?
Yeah.
You have? Wow. Have you got a VPN?
I will caution in the UK.
I don't know. I
I'll
know it's a
tell you all
virtual
about it.
private network, but I don't know what it is.
I will caution people in the UK though, if the government believes you're using your VPN for illegal sources, they can get a warrant, and they can also if they can manage, they can.
Depends who your VPN's with, though.
Mm-hmm.
So you should pick your VPN with care, because if you pick a VPN where, remember, with a VPN you're encrypting your transmission. So by going to your ISP, it's not going to help. They've got no idea what you sent, so they have to go to the VPN provider to find out what it was. So there's two ways they can do that. They can go to so with a VPN,
Right.
you connect somewhere.
Yep.
To the VPN provider, and they proxy you out to some random place in the world. So maybe you can VPN to Japan and then start looking at the Pirate Bay. Right? And as far as your ISP is concerned, in the UK government, we don't know what you're doing, but we do know you're on a VPN.
Yeah.
So then they could go to Japan, find that data, and then it's a real pain in the ass for them to do. It's a bit tricky.
So they don't
hackers
do
would
as
do
much.
that would jump all over the world, maybe 10, 20 jumps, and then do their dodgy stuff to make it really hard for someone to chase them back. So there you go, technical.
Right.
It started as the Social Influencer podcast.
I know.
It's a VPN.
It's now the How to Watch Cam Rip
Well, we
Movies
might-
podcast.
It might be that we'll be looking at dark web social influencers in the future. You never know.
Do they exist?
I don't know, actually. Let's find out
Yeah.
in next week's episode. So
Yeah.
what else have we got?
What else have we got?
3 minutes.
We got 3 minutes.
My questions are more specific.
Ask some specific questions. Ask Becca some stuff.
Well,
about photography.
let's
I've
go
been very
like,
quiet.
what do you think's the best platform for each of your stuff? So photography, what do you think's the best platform and why?
Instagram, always. I don't
Why
even
would you think
look at
just
YouTube.
Instagram?
Just because everything's visual. I see on Facebook, like especially when you make your own Facebook page and stuff, there's so many issues in the way, and the way that they've changed their however they pick how people see your page, because they really want you to be paying to get boosts. You're like, little guy's not going to get much attraction there. But on Instagram it's a lot easier. Plus you've got Instagram stories now. You can keep those stories now on your own page. You can save them. You can save other videos and other pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you see something that you like, that you get inspiration from, you can save it to your own Instagram.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
you can do
another
that.
feature you didn't know.
And you can share it or not?
No, well, it
Oh,
saves
you-
to your own.
Right.
It
I
saves
think
to like
they're
an
probably,
archive or something.
Okay,
yeah.
so you still have to use another app to.
No, you
to
can
share.
access it from Instagram, but I don't know if you can share their content. I think you can regram it or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm using. Regram.
I mean, you can share most things out with of Instagram anyway, so there probably is an easy way to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't found a need to do it, but
So you don't do you use Pinterest?
no, that's one of the ones that people say to me, and I just don't really find any use for it.
Well,
If you want to
Google
get
Plus
ideas
as well.
for things.
You got Google Plus. There's like photography groups on Google Plus.
Yeah, that just annoys me because it keeps putting things and giving me notifications I don't want to look at.
Fair enough.
I know I'm very strange that way, but it's just Instagram's easy.
Yeah,
Facebook.
and everybody
Easy.
accesses Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook. What's the problem with Facebook for that sort of?
You don't get a lot of traffic unless you're really pushing it yourself organically, because they're really encouraging you to boost your posts. So every time you post something on my own Facebook, I get, boost this post for this much. Send us £1 and you'll get this many people will see it. And
What's your social influence goals? What do you want to get out of Instagram?
Mostly I look for other dancers. So
But
a
for
lot of
you,
them,
do you want to get yourself more exposure as a photographer?
not current. Well, I was at one point. I'm doing more design stuff, so I've sort of let the photography slide to the back burner for a bit. But it was mostly getting more people that would like my photography to follow me, because the more they know about me, the more they'll recommend me to other people.
What's your account?
Aerial Arts Photos
Aerial
is the name.
Arts. As in, like aerial photography.
That's the tag.
Ding.
Yeah. So I tend to get
Yeah.
confused a lot with drone photography.
Yeah.
Not drone photography.
I really struggle to
It's,
spell aerial, I have to say.
Everyone does. But it's mostly dancers, pole fitness, circus fitness stuff, aerial hoop, if you know that. Some people in some countries call it lyra.
Right.
Cool, so it's totally niche.
Yeah.
And do you
very niche.
regram much?
No, because there's a better app for it on it. I found there's an app on the iPhone that's really good for it. I haven't found a really decent app for an Android phone. So if you find one,
Right.
send it my way. Because everyone's really annoyed me on my phone. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But it's actually a really good reposting other people's posts. I know that there's a photographer that I look at that most of her posts are reposts of her photos.
Alright,
It's
okay.
a really good technique, because obviously they're seeing that you're posting their stuff and it's their photos, and it's all appreciation basically for her that's on her own posts. So
Yeah, it's a good growth strategy.
Yeah, and you get whole accounts that are just regram pages.
yeah, it is a really good. If it's all your content that other people are sharing,
Yeah.
I think it's a really good technique.
Cool. And then it's people creating stuff for you as well. You don't have to worry about. Yeah.
That's the thing. You just scroll through who's been tagging me in posts today.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there we go.
So
And
the
just
majority of
nice
photographers
comment.
I've seen, or that have come to us to help with their business, they've all wanted a website where they can sell their photos in
Yeah,
poster format.
That-
It's like, man, it's
that-
usually landscape.
That's
portrait
old school.
photography, but
that is getting
It
old
is.
school now.
it is, but
Really
they still come. They still knock on the door, and I'm like,
I feel like if you want a
social media,
website
man.
and you're needing a lot of help now, to get a website, you probably are a bit old school still.
You'll get a website.
If
Oh,
you
as a
need a
photographer?
website as a photographer, you're probably a little bit.
I think you're wrong there.
But
If you're talking about e-commerce, though, right? You're selling
Yeah.
prints.
unless you're doing something like websites would be good if you're doing things like wedding photography, because I know that there's a few that if you can get someone to design the website really well, you can put the photos up and the client can then go and look at the website and look at their own photos and pick them from there.
The website is a means for you, even as a social influencer.
Yeah.
The website is a means of you being found on Google easily for the keywords you want to be found for, and a means for distributing your content outside of other channels. It's your own method. So the more powerful your website becomes, the more powerful your business becomes. I had a guy come into the office last year, and he sat down and he said, "No one needs a website anymore." And I was like,
No, they do. They do.
"Sure, okay." He's like, "Yeah, with Facebook nowadays, you just set up a page and that's it." I was like, "Oh man."
Nah, you need a
Jeez.
website for like credibility and so many other.
I ripped him to shreds.
I'd say
Did you?
one of the biggest things to see as a photographer, if you turn around and say that to me, I'll go, and what does Facebook do to your photos?
Yeah,
Compresses them.
he's now our local councillor. So
Oh really?
Oh, wow.
politics, I'm telling you, politicians and technology, they do not go well together. He's young as well. I couldn't believe it came out of his mouth. I was just like, no, he's wearing a leather jacket. Surely not.
Well, that's one of the things as well. Different social media platforms are better than others because Facebook does highly compressed photos. So
Mhm.
And video as well.
Yeah.
It pains me to put them on there. Like if you're working for a client, they're like, "Oh no, please don't."
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you not just
Yeah, and then people will sometimes it's flattering, sometimes other times not. If you've posted a photo of them with their permission, obviously, they'll take it off your Facebook, then re-put it onto theirs, and then it's just been compressed twice, and it's horrible and cringy.
It's when they don't give you that kudos as well. Though.
No, God.
I posted a fantastic Tesco's in Dalgety Bay, local to us, on the day after it snowed heavily, just before the poisonings in Salisbury. It was super snowy, right?
Yeah.
And I went into Tesco's. There was no milk being delivered. and it was pandemonium. I could not believe it. So I took a photo. I was like, "Oh my god!" And everyone was like, "Ah!" Like punching each other at the tails, and posted it up on Facebook. And I don't know how or who this person was, but my photo got posted. Nothing about me. Nowhere did they say anything about where the photo came from. I was raging. So I said, "Great photo. Where'd you get that from?" No response. God damn it.
Always credit. Just always credit.
Just as well, if anyone's if anyone's watching this outside of Britain, when it snows in other countries, does anyone immediately run and buy bread and milk? Or is that just a British thing?
We had send bread written on the ground in some places, just like help us.
As well, they're the things that go off quickly. I don't know why. Like I'd go for the hard, like the cans of stuff.
My friend got featured on the Lad Bible because it was like, what was it like? Italy has pasta, and these countries have this. Like German has beer. What does Scotland have? He went, "Nay bread or milk." And they got shared on the Lad Bible.
No, man.
He was like, "I'm proud."
He should launch his influencer career off that.
Yeah.
But I think we've touched on something really important there before we wrap up, and that is when your stuff gets snaffled, when your photos get nicked, when your videos get nicked.
It's happened to me a couple times.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm extremely guilty of it. As a web developer, I'll go on Google Images, I'll find myself an image, and I won't even look to see who created that image or where the website came from. I'll just download that image. Thank you very much. And it used to be that I would always check and always make sure it was copyrighted, because I got so many letters through. These lawyers' letters that say, "You've used stock footage from blah blah blah. Now you just must pay £5,000. Fine." And then I realised you could ignore these letters. Chances. But I still feel like I should always, now I'm talking to a photographer, a video producer, I feel extremely guilty. So I'm going to...
Do you credit them? How would you credit them on your website?
You just put a byline at the bottom, photo by blah blah blah. But it's just that extra effort, that extra energy, finding the space in the design. What if it's a full screen? It's about finding the right sources at the end of the day. So, but when it's your blog or it's just something that's throwaway or Facebook or an ad in many cases, it's so easy just to do that. Where do you put a byline on an ad?
I know.
It's quite difficult, but
it really
but
depends.
I mean, I should contact you and say, "Becca, I want to use your photo in my Facebook awareness campaign. May I have your blessing?"
And see the thing, I think a lot of people wouldn't mind if they know you're going to credit them.
Yeah.
Honestly, see if you want to use my photo on something on your page and your website.
And I used to get turned down all the time.
I think it's changed a lot because of social media, because it's so easy to just take photos in the internet and just take them and put them in other places.
Well, I used to go on Flickr, and that's where I would always ask permission, and I always used to get shut down. And then I got sick of it, and I stopped
Flickr's
asking.
a bit.
I think that's my last effort.
Flickr's like this site where it's like, look at all my really amazing work, and everyone really wants the appreciation on there. So they're like, no, this is my photo. You can't do that. Pay me first.
But you can search by license now, which is good.
Yeah, that's
good. That's a good feature on Bing and Google.
Yeah.
I did a time lapse over Edinburgh. That was really, really nice. I mean, it was me and another guy doing it. I was assisting him, but it got stolen twice. Once was there was a guy, he was doing a video like "Welcome to Edinburgh for students." Just so happened my partner was a student and saw it and was like, "Yeah, you're time lapse up there." But the other one was Tom Jones.
Oh wow!
Actually, he was doing a concert in Edinburgh and he showed the time lapse at the start.
Was that recently? At the Fringe?
A couple of years ago.
Oh right, okay. Because he was at the Fringe like this year.
Yeah. Well, tell him I say hi. But so it just so happened someone we knew, me and the guy that filmed it, went to that show and was like, "Yeah, your time lapse was up there."
Wow.
So we sent him a letter. And then they actually, I mean, it wasn't, Tom Jones himself isn't on Premiere Pro, like, wow, God, what am I going to do? So we sent them a letter saying, you've used our time lapse, like, and they said, "Oh, we're really sorry, we'll pay you money for it and give you some tickets to the show." And we said, "No, we're going to wait a couple of years and call you a thief on a podcast." No, it's tough. I think it's worse for photographers, because photographers are because I mean, that's it, like, we've all had our work stolen, like, it is what happens. Unfortunately, photographers are the bottom of the pile because you can't really steal other people's work.
And it's so common for us as well. We just sort of like shrug our shoulders, we're like, whatever.
It's a shame, man.
You employ a lawyer to spam everyone that's ever used your photos.
I could do. But
look, they start drilling downstairs.
Yeah.
It's almost the end of our working day, and Bonnie, our Sheepoo life coach, is fast asleep.
Oh, sure.
So
Bonnie.
I think we might have to wrap
Just
it up.
wrap it up here, yeah. How do we want to wrap it up?
Yeah, well, this is
It's your first
it's our
wrap-up.
first episode. Stuart's first wrap up. Wrap it up live.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching, and stick with us for the next podcast where we'll discuss more interesting stuff on social influencers.
Thanks to your guests,
Thank you,
Becca Hudson.
Becca, and thank you, Laurie.
Bowman, and me, because I
And
am
you.
actually technically guests.
Technically. But you may feature
I'm
on other
Julian.
stuff as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So thanks, Stuart.
Awesome. And then that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good job.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Cue credits. Do, 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 do.